Hello everyone, welcome back to Kunju's Media. So today I'll be talking about peptic ulcers, and as usual I'll be talking about the symptoms, the complications, the risk factors and the preventive measures for peptic ulcer.
Welcome to Kunju's Media.
So first of all, what are peptic ulcers? So peptic ulcers are nothing but they are the open sores that develop on the inside lining of your stomach or on the upper portion of your small intestine, right? So the usual symptom of peptic ulcer is stomach pain. And there are two kinds of peptic ulcers. They are gastric ulcers and duodenal ulcers. So gastric ulcers, as the name say, the ulcer is affected to your stomach. And whereas duodenal ulcer is the ulcer that affects the upper portion of your small intestine. That is the duodenum layer, right? And how is peptic ulcer caused? It is caused by a bacterium called as Helicobacter pylori, and they also say the long-term usage of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs is also an important cause for peptic ulcer. And there is a saying that spicy food contribute more to the peptic ulcer, but they usually don't cause peptic ulcer, but they can make your symptoms even more worse. Okay. Now moving on to the symptoms of peptic ulcer. So basic symptoms include burning stomachache, heartburns, feeling of vomiting, then intolerance to fatty foods, and also feeling of fullness. So as I said, the basic symptom of peptic ulcer is stomachache, and this stomachache increases or worsens due to the acid present in your stomach, and this pain can be relieved temporarily by the usage of foods that buffer your stomach acid, and also by the usage of acid reducing medications. But this is not permanent and it cannot give you permanent relief. It will come back again. And this stomach pain is worse during after you have your meals and during night. And when we talk about symptoms, some people who have peptic ulcer do not even experience any symptoms or signs, right? And less often, some people experience like severe symptoms such as blood in their stools or vomiting blood and fainting, difficulty in breathing and heartburns and such. So these are the common symptoms of peptic ulcer. Now moving on to the causes of peptic ulcer. So how is peptic ulcer caused? So it's usually caused when the acid in your stomach destroys the mucous membrane. So what is this mucous membrane? Usually, as you all know, our digestive system or the digestive tract is completely coated with mucous membrane, and this mucous membrane protects our organs against this acid, from the destruction of the other microbes or the acid or any such foreign particles. So when the mucus production is less or the acid secretion is more, our digestive tract tends to develop open sores which may bleed, and these are called as ulcers, right? And how is this action? How does this action occurs? It usually occurs by a bacteria called as Helicobacter pylori. So this is a kind of bacteria that lives in the mucous membrane of your digestive tract, and it usually doesn't cause any problems, but it leads to the inflammation of your stomach or the small intestine, thereby leading to ulcers. And we don't know exactly how the infection of this pylori bacteria spreads, but it's usually said to be spread through direct contact and also through food and water. And the next factor that contributes to such kind of action is the usage of certain pain relievers such as non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. See, some people usually use lot of medications. Prolonged use of such medications will irritate or inflame your stomach lining or the intestinal lining, thereby leading to ulcer. And finally, other medications such as steroids or anticoagulants, along with the usage of this non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, will again lead to the developing of ulcers. Moving on to the risk factors. Please note, risk factors are these are the factors that don't cause peptic ulcers, but they make your symptoms worse and make it more complicated to treat as well. So such risk factors include smoking. Along with the usage of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, smoking can also complicate or worsen your condition of peptic ulcer, because smoking leads to destruction or damage of your mucous membrane and hence contributes to the development of peptic ulcer. And alcohol consumption, again similarly as smoking does, it also erodes your mucous membrane and causes peptic ulcer. And other risk factors include consumption of spicy food and untreated stress. So these are the factors that can worsen the condition of peptic ulcer. Now moving on to the complications of peptic ulcer. So if peptic ulcer is left untreated, it can lead to certain complications. So the first complication is internal bleeding. So internal bleeding may be either severe or it may be slow. So bleeding severely may require hospitalization, blood transfusion, whereas slow bleeding will lead to anemia. So it can also result in vomiting blood or blood in your stools as well. So this is the first complication. And the second complication is obstruction. So as the ulcer is developed in your digestive tract, it's very difficult for the food to reach your stomach. So thereby it obstructs the food entry. So as the food entry is obstructed, it will cause you a feeling of fullness very soon, and thereby it leads to weight loss and other complications such as vomiting also. So this is the second complication. Third complication is it can create a hole or it can create a perforation in your stomach wall. So these peptic ulcers are capable of creating a hole in your abdominal wall. It can lead to abdominal cavity infection, right? And the final complication is gastric cancer. So as I said, peptic ulcers are caused by a bacterium called as Helicobacter pylori. So the presence of Helicobacter pylori, increases the chance of gastric cancer. So these are the certain complications of peptic ulcer. Moving on to the preventive measures. So certain measures can help you in preventing peptic ulcers. So those are protect yourself from infections. So as I said it's just not clear how the Helicobacter pylori or the bacterium that causes peptic ulcer spreads, but there is some evidence that says that it can spread from person to person through direct contact and also through food and water. So if you take steps to protect yourself from such infections by frequently washing your hands with soap and water, and also by eating foods that have been completely cooked, right? So this is how you can protect yourself from infections. And finally, you should be cautious with pain relievers. See, if you regularly use pain relievers that increase your risk of peptic ulcer, you should take necessary steps in order to reduce your risk of stomach problems, right? For example, you can take your medication with the meals, and also you can also ask your doctor to find the lowest dose possible that still gives you pain relief but won't cause peptic ulcer. And when you take such medications, you must avoid drinking alcohol, since the two can combine to increase your risk of ulcer. And if you need a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug, you may need to also take additional medications such as antacid or a cytoprotective agent. See, use of cytoprotective agent reduce the risk of peptic ulcer, but it can increase the risk of heart attack. So this is all about peptic ulcers I want to talk today. So hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, do give a like, do share and do subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Please do like, share, and subscribe the channel.